Greetings. These days I've heard terms like the new normal, like never before. Things will never be the same on the other side of this, and such dire predictions of the future. But I'm thinking of the present, and in a special way I'm thinking of you teenagers from 13 to 30. And believe me, that's true. There are more teenagers behaving like teenagers on the other side of 19. But again, aside from that, look at the scenario. A 21-day total lockdown. And just when you want to physically hang out with your friends, you're literally locked up at home. Believe me, that's not the place you want to be when you're a teenager. But you know what? That's where you are. And you've got to face it. You can reach the other side of this crisis bitter or better. And it's all up to you. I want to share with you some tips I found myself in this lockdown. And I was bemoaning my fate. There are a few spaces, actually 2 spaces, that we should tend to so that they don't waste away. The mind and the body. You have so many hours in the day. I think you can find that you can put that to good use. For starters, how have you passed your time since then? Since the lockdown began? Do you think you're growing mentally, spiritually? Did you reach the end of the day simply heaving a sigh of relief, saying, another day of the lockdown is over? That's a sad way to waste the day. A sad way to waste the hours that have gone by. Just think of how blessed we are in this 21st century. We can be socially connected. We can access any any amount of information we want. Good information. Materially good, spiritually good, intellectually good. I would suggest that you make a schedule and stick to it. This is the time for schedules. Don't just let the hours go by and then you say, oh my gosh, it's the end of the day. Your smartphone is a good way to start. Set an alarm, a series of alarms, and move from one task to another. The secret is respect those alarms. You can just put off the alarm and say, let's get on with what we are doing. That should help you get around, respecting the alarms you set. You could fail, but the good thing is that it will be only from one alarm to the other alarm. And then you get to the next task. So here, in my opinion, are some of the things you can do during this lockdown. I'm not telling you how many hours to spend. I'm not telling you which hour to use for what. You know yourself best. So that's what you can do. You can learn a language. You can learn to meditate. You can practice a workout. You could read a book or 2. You could help around the house. That's as far as I'm concerned. And there are no particular order to this. This comes first, this comes second. Do what you think is most comfortable for you and most profitable. You are at the best at a particular point of the day. At another point of the day, something else would be better for you. To each his own, as they say. First, take time to learn a language. There are so many apps, I don't need to tell you, to learn a language. But believe me, learning a language goes a long way. Even from the app, learning a language makes you another person. You will make friends. You will go places. You will probably change your life. I've seen people do that, and I'm in awe of them. That's the first thing. Second, learn to meditate. You never wanted to hear that. Consider it a waste of time. There are hundreds of YouTube videos that teach you techniques that help you to meditate. And if you stick to it, you will notice the benefits in a week already. It's so simple, but you can't sit by yourself. So use the YouTube to guide you through 5 minutes, 10 minutes of meditation. It's worth it. It's a good stress buster, and believe me, these days of doing nothing can cause you tremendous stress. Thirdly, the workout. If you're not careful, you could waste a lot of time on Netflix, on Amazon Prime. They can be very addictive, maybe even worth it. But I suggest you keep that for after 9 in the night. A good hour's workout will make you feel brighter, will give you better sleep, will sharpen your mind. You know what to do for a workout. Sitting and watching a movie is no workout at all. Then, read a book or two. This may not have been your habit. I like to see a movie, you say. It takes character and discipline to sit and read a book. Read for an hour a day. That's about it. And I suggest you take two kinds of books. Take a book on self-help and take a novel or something that interests you, history, commerce, or whatever. And you will see you find a lot of material in it. I think you can find so many apps that will give you free books. Now, all this said, look around. You've accumulated quite a bit of junk in your hazy days. It's time to get up, spend an hour, letting things go, setting aside junk you've kept for a year or so. A good rule is, if you haven't used something, a book or papers, for a year, check it out. Finally, being confined to home and rubbing shoulders with your folks, you can possibly stamp a few toes. And I believe this is the time for more understanding, more tolerance, and loads of patience. Things are not normal. You can't get what you want when you want it. So don't throw a fit. Everyone is tense. Everyone is frightened, confused, trying to make the best of a bad situation. Okay, you got enough to start with. Go ahead, give it a try. And like my friend Ken Wilber says, get up, clean up, and show up. That will show something to you about the lockdown. It won't get your mood down, but it'll get your life up. So all the best.